Everyone, welcome to my channel Mind Your Exam. In this video, we will learn about the basics of supply chain. We will look into some real world examples of supply chain, the working of supply chain at the very core level, and what are some service providers that bring to you products and services using supply chain on a daily basis. So let us first understand the meaning of supply and chain. Supply basically means to make something available to someone or to provide something to someone. Now, this something is nothing but a product or it can be any kind of service. And related to the word supply, there is a word known as supplier. Supplier is any person or organization that makes that product or service available or it provides it to the customer or the consumer. Okay, so supply is the verb and supplier is the noun. Now, chain in normal English language basically means a series of links that are interconnected with each other and it forms a so that a line is formed out of it. Okay, so supply chain, what it means, the two terms in combination basically mean a link or a sequence of processes that are involved in the production as well as the distribution of a product or a service. You can also say that the chain of all those suppliers, all those people and organizations that are directly or indirectly involved in the production as well as distribution of goods and services so that these goods and services reach the consumer. This entire set of processes is known as a supply chain. Now, supply chain mainly consists of a customer. A supply chain cannot exist if we do not have a customer because only when there is a customer, a need or a demand will arise and then we will go linking the customer's requirement to the people or organization that are fulfilling the customer's requirement. So a supply chain mainly includes a customer, then a retailer. A retailer is a provider or a shopkeeper or a seller that provides items or services but in a limited or a comparatively small quantity as compared to a distributor. A distributor is getting a lot of products and supplying to many retailers or directly to many consumers. But a retailer is a smaller outlet of product or service. Okay. Then a supply chain must have a manufacturer of the product, the person or organization that is creating that product. And to create that product, you need some supplier who is providing raw materials. So these are majorly the main components of any supply chain. So let us understand via a diagrammatic representation how a supply chain works and what it actually means. So as I just mentioned that a supply chain begins with the requirement from a customer. Okay, so say we have a customer who needs a shampoo. Now this customer goes to a retailer. A retailer can be a shop near to his house or it can be a mall in his city. Now, since the retailer is only storing a lot of products, the retailer has to purchase the shampoo that is now required by the customer from some supplier. So the retailer combines or collaborates with a distributor and the distributor supplies that particular shampoo or different kinds of products to that retailer. And this supply of shampoo is done through some mode of transportation. Now the distribution is only a supplier. Distributor is only a supplier. That means the distributor is not creating the product. So the distributor also has to acquire products from somewhere. And generally, get their products from the manufacturers, the people who are creating the product. So the manufacturer supplies the product to the distributor through some mode of transport. Okay. Now the manufacturer, as we just saw, needs raw materials to create the product. In our case, in the case of a shampoo, the raw materials are the chemicals, the bottles that are required to create the shampoo bottle. So the raw material supplier will send in the raw materials to the manufacturer so that the product can be manufactured or created. Now, not only the bottle of the shampoo or the shampoo itself, the manufacturer may need different kinds of material to complete its manufacturing process. So the manufacturer will also need some boxes, say paper boxes, to pack large quantities of shampoo bottles so that it can supply the distributor. So these boxes are also supplied to the manufacturer by some other supplier. Okay. So now the manufacturer is getting some input from the chemical factories. It is getting some inputs from the box factories also. Okay. But now you must see that the box creator or the box supplier in itself having some input from the paper mill. That means the box supplier can only supply the boxes when he is purchasing paper from the paper mill, and then that paper mill, from after purchasing paper from that paper mill, he is able to create as well as supply the boxes. And for the paper mill to work, you need to have a person or an organization that is supplying, that is giving or providing you timber to create that paper. Okay. So all this exchange of goods is done via some mode of transportation, and all these form a supply chain. Everywhere one or the other person or organization is supplying or providing some kind of material to the next party, and ultimately the customer's demand of shampoo is met. Okay, so this entire chain of links is known as the supply chain because it is supplying the customer what it requires, and this supply is fulfilled using a chain of links where different parties are connected with each other. Now, let us examples in our daily life that we witness that are fulfilled using supply chain. So every time you order some product from Amazon, it is actually supplied to you through various links. Initially, the product is acquired from a person or an organization that is creating and supplying that product to the Amazon center. Then the Amazon uses some kind of logistics and transport to give that product that you have ordered to a particular courier service provider. Then the courier service providers hire some people who can deliver it to you. So at every point, some people are linked in meeting the demand of the customer. Similarly, courier company like FedEx and Blue Dart are also connected with truck drivers, even with plane companies and courier boys on the ground, so that they can fulfill your courier demands and deliver the products that are requested on time. Now comes the example of Starbucks. Most of us would have had a Starbucks coffee or would have seen the outlet somewhere. In case of Starbucks, the company actually is very particular about taking its coffee beans from a particular set of farmers. So it interacts, it collaborates, it those farmers so that it can acquire high quality of coffee beans. Then these coffee beans are used in their company for making of coffee, and Starbucks also combines with other paper providers so that the glasses in which you are served coffee can be made using those. Okay. Similarly, companies like Coca-Cola are working on ground to they are interacting with raw material providers like the glass bottles, the content that go into the soft drink, then supplying it to the distributors. Distributors give to smaller shops, and from there, the customers' demands for Coca-Cola are fulfilled. We have similar examples of Walmart. Walmart is very particular about maintaining low pricing for its products, and it ensures this by purchasing a lot of uh, products in bulk quantities from the distributors as well as from the manufacturers, so that the costs remain low and customers are happily served. Toyota, the company, purchases parts, and it has a very specific system of ordering parts only when the demand arises. in such cases, it can prevent wastage, it can save the space for storage of wastage. And when the distributor supplies those parts, these parts are assembled and supplied to the consumer as a car. Similarly, we have examples of Apple, clothing brands like Zara, and many more. Now, these were the examples of how products and services are brought to you through different supply chain. But there are companies that provide to you supply chain services so that you can provide your product and service to the consumer. So Amazon is one such example, which is not only using the supply chain to reach its customer, but it's also providing the services of supply chain so that you can make your business work. So it is known as the supply chain by Amazon, where it is providing the pickup facilities, the logistics facilities, transport facilities that we saw, the bulk storage facilities in Amazon warehousing, and then the delivery services are provided to the customer. Similarly, we have other supply chain providers, which one of the examples is Infor. Then we have Blue Yonder. And the last one, the example that I've taken is Rider Even Better. So this was all about supply chain. I hope you have understood the basic concept. Thank you for watching. Till we meet in the next video. Mind your exam.